Hello, welcome to the 1-month introductory Masuda Ashi course. This course will comprise a total of 20 lessons which we'll go through over the next month. Today is lesson number 1, and today's topic is going to be about Masuda Ashi characteristics. The main characteristic of the Masuda Ashi chart is being able to read and understand charts at a glance. Let's take a look at the screen. What we have here at the moment is the Nikkei average, the Nikkei 225 average of 225 stocks on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. This is the daily chart for the Nikkei 225. On the top half of the screen you can see this chart, which has pink and blue real bodies. This section is the Masuda Ashi chart. Below that we have the traditional Japanese candlestick charts, where the green real bodies are in the upward direction and the red real bodies are in the downward direction. So when we refer to the Masuda Ashi chart, being able to read and understand charts at a glance, what exactly is it that we can see or understand at a glance? First of all, if we look at the bottom chart, the candlestick chart, you can see that there are 4 smooth lines. These are simple moving average lines. The pink line here is the 5-day moving average. The green line is the 25-day moving average. The yellow line, the 75-day moving average. And the white line, the 150-day moving average. Today we're just going to focus on this green moving average line, which is the 25-day moving average. Now, if you're not familiar with moving average lines, what this simply means is that each of these points on this line is the average closing price for the past 25 business days or trading days. And these are plotted, so every new day the closing price is added to the 24 days prior to that to give you the new value, and so on. Now, the Masuda Ashi chart system is actually based on moving averages, and what the Masuda Ashi chart does is takes the simple moving average like this and then slides it out by 1 day, and in doing so you get today's Masuda Ashi price and yesterday's Masuda Ashi price, which is effectively 2 moving average values. And the benefit of sliding out the moving average by 1 day or 1 period means that you now have 2 values which you can form real bodies out of. So you have a high and a low value to form a real body, and depending on the difference between the 2 values, you'll have sometimes you'll have long real bodies like this, and other times you'll have much shorter real bodies like this. So the benefit of sliding out the moving average line to give you 2 values not only gives you length in terms of the length of these real bodies that are formed, but also we assign colors to the real bodies, pink being for an uptrend and blue being for a downtrend. This is actually one of the core principles of the Masuda Ashi chart system, which I'd like you to remember, that pink signifies an uptrend and this aqua blue signifies a downtrend. This is one of the most basic rules of the Masuda Ashi chart system. One other key characteristic of the Masuda Ashi chart is that there are 3 lines drawn simultaneously. We have this line here is the short-term Masuda Ashi real body line, which is the 3-day Masuda Ashi line. We have the middle line here, which is the 25-day Masuda Ashi line. This is the medium-term line. We have this slower moving Masuda Ashi line. This is the longer-term Masuda Ashi line, where the real bodies are made up of this 75-day Masuda Ashi values. However, today we're just going to focus on this middle line, which is the 25-day Masuda Ashi real body line. Now you're probably already thinking, well, the 25-day moving average line here, the green line, looks somewhat similar to the 25-day Masuda Ashi line, and that is correct because they are essentially based off very similar data. But when you look at the moving average line, you have to actually visually check to see where the line peaks out here at the top and then goes down here and may probably bottom out somewhere here, or alternatively back here. There's a bottom. With the Masuda Ashi line though, as we mentioned before, pink signifies an uptrend and blue signifies a downtrend. You can tell the turning point instantly at a glance by just noting the change in the color. And as we also mentioned before, the fact that we slide the moving average out to get two values, which allows us to form these real bodies. We also get long real bodies and short real bodies, which signifies the share price energy. This kind of energy indicator is not readily visible in the simple moving average line, which is very smooth. So just to reiterate, the top chart here is the Masuda Ashi chart with three Masuda Ashi real body lines drawn simultaneously, the short term, medium term and long term. Pink signifies an uptrend and blue signifies a downtrend. And below we have the traditional Japanese candlestick chart. So one of the key points about the Masuda Ashi chart is being able to spot turning points and trends at a glance. And what we'll do is we're actually going to add another function within the Masuda Ashi chart system called Masuda Ashi shadows. If you look down to the bottom right of this screen, we have 3P MAS, which is the 3-period Masuda Ashi shadow, 25-period Masuda Ashi shadow and 75-period Masuda Ashi shadow. I'll explain what the shadows are in more detail in a later lesson, as well as also how to construct the Masuda Ashi real bodies themselves, but for now we'll click these and see what happens. And you can see that the line connecting the Masuda Ashi real body to the end of the arrow, which is actually the actual closing price for each period, instantly gives us this kind of pink zone and this kind of blue zone. So we can spot the trend instantly. The pink zone represents an uptrend or a buy area, and the blue zone represents a downtrend or a sell area. And you can tell the turning point in the trend is where the pink area changes into the blue area, and vice versa. If you look over here, the blue area changes back into a pink area. So with the addition of the Masuda Ashi shadows, we're able to instantly identify uptrends, downtrends and turning points. This is one of the key characteristics of the Masuda Ashi chart system, which is not readily available from candlestick charts or simple moving averages. Obviously, if you have studied candlesticks before, you'll be able to interpret them on a slightly different level, but we'll touch on candlesticks a little bit later. So just recapping again, the main points of today's lesson are that when you're looking at the Masuda Ashi chart software, this top half is the Masuda Ashi chart, which contains three Masuda Ashi real body lines, the short term, the medium term and the long term. The color pink signifies an uptrend, the color blue signifies a downtrend. Turning points are identified by changes in the colors of the lines, specifically the short-term 3-day line here and the medium-term line are very important to keep a close eye on. Below that we have the traditional Japanese candlestick chart too, and what we did before to the Masuda Ashi chart is we added the 3-day Masuda Ashi shadow, the 25-day Masuda Ashi shadow and the 75-day Masuda Ashi shadow, which I've just removed, so we're back to where we started. And one other point is that the Masuda Ashi charts are based on moving averages, where you slide the moving average line out one day and take the two values to construct these real bodies. The greater the difference between the two values, the longer the real bodies will be, and obviously when you're in a blue long real body like this, it's negative downward energy, and if you have longer pink bodies, it's stronger rising energy. And you can also see some of the shorter real bodies here as well. Anyway, that is all for today's lesson, and I will talk to you again in lesson number 2. Thank you very much.